live. Everyone, welcome to MG number 268, the return of the leaf cutters, just the tip. Welcome back, gentlemen. And as promised from our first discussion, which is about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we are all going to sit down with the same cigar and review it based upon your 5-point review system. Is that not correct?
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
There you go.
I can't count to 5, but okay.
I only get to 4.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Welcome back, gentlemen. Let me cut my cigar here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us back.
Thanks for
We're
having us back.
surprised.
I know, right? Go figure. Well, it's a slow.
It's a pleasure,
month.
Say.
I was about to say, who
Yeah.
canceled on you? Who canceled on you? That's what happened.
Everybody. We were scraping the
We
bottom of the
literally-
barrel.
I was about to say, are we the last choice?
No, you guys were your VIPs. I scheduled you first, actually.
Oh,
Nice to be first every once in a while.
Actually, yeah, you guys are moderately cool.
I'm glad you said
We don't want to give
I
like
know.
too out of control about our
exactly.
coolness.
I don't want too much
I gotta-
credit given to
You don't
us
want to
either.
what?
I gotta say about the I was gonna say the Perdomo champagne. It's got a very neutral flavor that pairs well with any kind of drink that you want to have. It's not gonna overpower, whether it's the Scotch whiskey or a bourbon, or even if you're having I've got port here.
ooh, fancy port.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just lose Vince again? It's kind of a
No, I'm here.
Yeah, I know. Fancy.
Man, I'm here.
Well, how does this work? Let's see. Good shit.
All right. So
That
initial
lighter works
thoughts, I
way
agree
too well.
with you.
Another thing I note about the champagne is it's a very long-lasting cigar. You can smoke if you're pacing your.
What? You're talking,
Go ahead.
Jenny. Can't hear you. What? I think you froze.
I think it froze.
Yeah.
Episode 268, brought to you by Technical Difficulties.
Yes, brought to you by shitty internet. I would agree with TJ. This one's it's pretty smooth.
Oh yeah, it's a very smooth cigar.
It's got good billow of smoke too.
It's actually the first one I've had. The first champagne that is. Had a few cigars.
I want to say I've had this a long time ago, but I'm not sure. I think
I've
so.
had quite a few.
Yeah,
I have-
champagne's one of those that you can actually go back to anytime if you're a beginner smoker, or been smoking for years like we have.
Yeah.
That it's still it's reliable. It's a good smoke. You'll enjoy it pretty much anytime you pick it up.
It is. It is a nice. I can see this being a go-to cigar. You know what you're getting, and you're not disappointed.
It's a cigar that I find myself, when somebody asks, "Hey, I want to get into cigars," this is a cigar that I will straight out point them to.
Okay.
Almost
Yeah, it's
every
great.
time.
I can see why. I'm not very far into it, and it's already like light and not overly aggressive in any way. It's
No,
Hmm.
pretty.
but it's
simple.
also not so light you feel like you're smoking air.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's very.
creamy.
It's. I would say it's a bit creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little bit of. It tastes like cedar. Just a little bit,
Yeah, I get a little bit of that too.
right? A little bit of cedar.
It's so light I could actually try retrohaling on this one,
I forget what is that again.
which I'm not going to do on camera. So when you retrohale, you take the smoke into your mouth,
Mhm.
but then you kind of let it go into your nostrils,
Ooh.
and then kind of breathe it out just a little bit out of your nostrils. That gets the full flavor of the cigar, and that's really how you're tasting it is by retrohaling it.
Gotcha.
A lot of people don't retrohale because it's one of those things that burns.
Put hair on
Especially
your chest.
yeah, but
I've got enough
put
hair on my
your
chest. I don't need any extra from retrohaling.
Exactly.
I'll live vicariously through you, gentlemen.
I like to retrohale a pipe a little more than a cigar personally, because the cigars tend to be a little more pungent in the sinuses.
Gotcha.
Yeah, especially if it's a sweet tobacco, not like a like a Cavendish or Virginia type stuff.
Yeah, I love the smoke is just lingering.
You mean to tell me you're not going to grab one of those nice dark Maduros? It's got all that pepper in it and just straight retrohale that? Come on, man.
I mean,
yeah,
I've tried it a couple times.
Unless I need to clear, unless I need to clear out the nostrils, I'm going to pass.
I'll be right back.
Well, thanks for coming back.
Talks amongst yourselves.
We'll miss you.
I feel like it's it kind of reminds me of the old TV commercials. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, but we're not hearing about Sure or Cascade dish soap or McDonald's or any of that stuff. It's just us.
I could always do the
Burger
Saturday
King's-
morning jingle for you. After
Yeah,
these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah, no. Look, I'm the
I
jingle
love it.
person.
I
Shut
love
your
it.
mouth right now.
It's getting territorial by those jingles.
It is. He is the jingle
Look,
master.
I get one thing. I get one thing. All right.
When I'm sitting here
funny.
smoking this, I remember this used to be my go-to.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't. I don't know. It's not the way it was before. I don't know what it is.
It's not as strong as what you're used to.
Yeah, I
than
think
you're
I'm
used to.
not used to going this light. Back to being this light.
Yeah.
The palate changes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yep. All right, so
When your
what's your,
palate changes, or what you.
that's the same with wine.
I mean, the
or
stuff that I
or
used to
alcohol.
smoke, or the kind of what?
It's the same. The palate changing is the same with wine or alcohol or food, really.
Yep.
Sure.
Now, what's your 5-point review system? Can you go through that again?
Yeah. So basically, 1 point is for feel. That's how how the cigar kind of makes you feel. Or for me, a good example of that is if it leaves a film in my mouth. That's definitely a big thing I look for when I'm talking about cigars. Another one is construction. It's got to have a good construction, and if it doesn't, you get points knocked point knocked off for that. And then you have taste. How does it taste? Is it good? Is it a pleasurable experience? Is it taste like dog shit? And then
I had a cigar that tasted like dog shit, or what I would imagine dog shit would taste like.
I mean,
Right.
yeah,
You're not
it's
gonna be
out there.
chewing on actual dog shit.
Yeah, but
We've
would
all
you
had
finish
one.
it? Would you be a true man and finish it?
I finished it.
Depends
No,
on how much
I mean,
you
I
pay for it.
I don't think I'm that much of a man that I would finish that.
I'm not either. I just want to see if
cigar.
anybody say yeah.
Just eating the dog shit.
Just eating the dog shit. And then what I get up to? Taste. Then
Taste, feel, construction.
taste, feel, construction. God, I completely went blank
You
on
guys
our.
keep look at the notes. You guys
You
keep
just
look at
you-
the
I'm gonna
notes.
have to look at the notes. I'm gonna have to
You
refer
just
to the
boomered
notes.
it.
I did boomer it. Oh my god.
We have
Our,
notes.
our
Wait,
show does not look
We're,
strong
we're,
right
we're
now.
very professional here, and I can see you guys are too.
Yes.
burn and draw is one of the other ones.
Yes. Burn and draw. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
I literally just went blank. Burn is how's it burning? Is
Okay.
it burning even? Is it burning kind of wonky?
You have tunneling.
Yeah. Do you have tunneling? Do you have running? Things like that. You can knock it off points for. And draw is how is the smoke draw? Does it have a good output of smoke? Does it have a little output of smoke? Do you like it? You know.
Yeah.
So that's basically the criteria that we go off of.
Does it stay lit?
Yeah, does it stay
Yeah.
lit? That's a good one. But
Mm.
that can be poor
That's
maintenance
poor
on.
construction, or
I mean, it could be poor construction, but it also could be straight up, it wasn't upkept right in the humidor itself.
Yeah, that's true too.
And we usually talk about that stuff when we're reviewing it. Like if it's obviously a really damp cigar, we might say something about that. Or it's a really dry cigar and crackly. It's gonna affect how it burns. But it may not be like a downside if it's a good cigar.
That's true.
Lots of it is subjective.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, we're not
especially the
professionals.
taste.
We're just here to help.
or not help.
Tagline.
Or not help. Whatever.
Or
Or not help.
Hinder. we're here to hinder you.
Hinder
No, I'm
makes
just
this
here to hinder
stupid.
Gibbs.
True story.
Yeah, so far I'm digging this.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Well, we went with a lighter cigar for you novice smokers, Vince.
I appreciate that, you son of a bitch. So basically, you wanted to give us training wheels.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is not a training wheel cigar. This is a cigar.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
let him give you bullshit about that.
Okay. Well, Andy's
It's
good for
Why
that.
not?
Okay, well, continue giving bullshit, but I'm just letting you know the Potomac Champagne is, like I said, is one of those you can go to. It's a good
Okay.
cigar, regardless of what level of cigar you're at.
Yeah.
So I got a question. At what point does the price of a cigar make it undesirable despite quality?
The price point that you're comfortable at.
Bam
it's
with the
really
answer. Yeah, that's it.
Whichever price doesn't make my wife angry. Like if I come home and say $25 on a cigar, she could be super pissed, and I'm not going to enjoy it nearly as much as I did the $10 cigar that she was okay with.
Well, I mean, price does not necessarily
I see.
dictate
I see.
quality, right?
Hmm.
Because our friends
Yes.
over at Romacraft,
Like Pappy Van Wink.
well, yeah, like
Like
a Pappy
Pappy.
Van Winkle, yeah, those are expensive freaking cigars. But like I was saying, our friends over at Romacraft, they make an excellent cigar, and it's under $10.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
most of their line is under $10.
What do you
but-
guys think of Davidoff?
Davidoff is a really good cigar, but you're paying up for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
Like,
paying
I
for a
think-
name on that one.
Yeah, you're paying for you're paying for quality
It's
on
a
that too.
I've
It's a quality
my
cigar,
sample size on Davidoff is small, but it was a quality cigar that I had, and
Yes.
I could see why it was expensive.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can tell on a Davidoff, they put time and effort on their cigars. Like even their outer wrappers on their cigars are buttery smooth. Like you see very little imperfections in them. Their taste, you're going to get the same taste of every Davidoff that you get.
Consistency.
Yeah, you get very good consistency. If you get that number 3, the next one you're going to get is going to taste the exact same.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So
Mine, the Romacraft, is actually one of my favorites.
yes, going back to Romacraft, like I said, under a $10 cigar, consistently good. I mean, it's one of the highest rated cigars that we've had on our show.
Yeah,
So,
I like a lot. I like more Romacraft cigars more than the Davidoff cigar I had. It was like significantly better for me.
Yeah,
But that's my
so
taste.
Price, yeah, and so price definitely doesn't dictate, the better cigar. So if you're paying up for the cigar, it doesn't necessarily mean it's better. I mean, there are, the exceptions that, we do know that you have to pay up for Davidoff, but Davidoff we've seen is quality. Their stuff is quality. And there are more expensive, like say Arturo Fuentes, because you can get a Fuente, $7,
Yeah.
but you can pay up to $32 for the sophisticated hooker. And not that the sophisticated hooker is not worth $32, it's very much worth $32.
Yeah.
Is that the official name?
Yes, that is the official name.
Really?
It is.
Okay.
It is called the sophisticated hooker. It's one of the rare pink lines.
Oh, okay.
and it is a wonderful cigar.
Is that a Maduro? Is that a
Uh,
wrapper?
No, it wasn't Connecticut. I want to say it was a Habano wrapper.
Okay.
Um, but I can look up the details on it. But that was a fantastic cigar.
This has really good ash.
It does. That means it's
Yeah.
well constructed.
Yeah, as I said, construction is really good. It's pretty consistent. The burn line's not bad. Haven't had to clean it up too much.
So to answer your question about the sophisticated hooker,
Yes.
it's a 7 1/4 by a 53 ring gauge with an Ecuadorian wrapper.
Ecuadorian, I was off.
Okay.
It's got a Nicaraguan binder and a Dominican Nicaraguan filler.
Hmm.
And it's currently out of stock at the website. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
inquired about that at a local shop, and they was apparently seasonal, so they'll
The
show
only
up.
time
show
I've
up
ever
and
seen
they'll
a
be there
rare
as long
pink
as
is
they have.
October.
Yeah, you see them in October, and they are very rare when you can find one.
The online vendor that I pulled this up, one cigar, one sophisticated hookers, $75.
Yeah, you can get them cheaper. But you also got to think right now they're out of season, so
Yeah,
if you get it,
totally.
you're paying up for it.
I didn't know cigars had a season.
For the rare pinks, like Robert was saying, you can only get them in October for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, okay.
So hence the rare pink thing.
Well, fuck that. Where's the prostate awareness cigars?
Right.
Those are the brown ones that you get, and
all the time.
Those
All
are the
the time.
unbanded ones.
It's the rest of
in
it.
the back.
No.
That's-
I want an actual specific cigar for prostate awareness. Us
Okay.
men need to be represented. God damn it, get on that.
Let's do it.
Mhm.
Let's do it.
Totally.
Oh, you know,
Shit.
Skip.
Well, technically,
If
I mean,
Kathy had a brand of cigars, that would be it.
That would be totally it. Yeah.
technically, breast cancer awareness isn't that in November, and then so is Movember, which is you're supposed to not mow your mustache for Movember because just to raise awareness for prostate cancer.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
yeah, I
I
think
just
it
thought
is.
people didn't want to do razors.
I mean that I'm just a cheap bastard, and don't want
Yeah.
razors, but
Well, there's that.
Bic ain't getting my money.
so yeah, they could come out with a dual, blue and pink at the same time.
No, at the same time. We're not being overshadowed by the pinkness.
No.
No, we need our own.
I
month.
tried Arturo Fuente. I tried.
Yeah, fuck that. We get our own
Gibbs is
month,
looking for a sponsor.
right? You totally look for a sponsor.
I know. I'm totally looking for a sponsor.
That could be an interesting. It'd be an interesting cigar. I guess name would be after Wyatt Earp from Tombstone, where he walks into that place and he gets a cigar. He doesn't get a drink, as he gets a cigar, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that'd be cool. I feel like a lot of these anniversaries of films coming out, like 30-year, 40-year, 20-year, they always miss opportunities for marketing.
Marketing drinks and alcohol, guns, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's the brand that has the original recipe of the British Navy rum, and there was like the 20th anniversary of Master and Commander: Far Side of the World last year. They didn't take advantage of that by coming up with a Lucky Jack version, or at least just pairing up.
Oh,
with
I remember
the
you
company.
talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have made a fortune off of the rum, and then it could have marketed the film for the people, whatever company owns the rights to the film. And it's like, who's running these marketing companies?
So, is that?
Well, it's
is
all
the
about
25th
licensing.
this year. For Master and
So
Commander?
the Master and
Or
Commander
last-
came out in 2003, so it was the 20th anniversary last year. So the ration of rum was a big deal in the British Navy. Everybody got a daily ration of grog, which was their rum. Well, the
Mhm.
recipe for that was bought or inherited or whatever by this company that makes it called Pusser's Rum, right? So it's a little bit lower strength, but they could have made a really cool bottle or just marketed,
Reach out.
like the
reach
film
out,
pays for the marketing.
Reach out
Yeah,
to
they completely-
someone. It's all about licensing.
Yeah.
It's all
well,
about licensing.
I was going to say
Yeah.
if it was 2024, that the 25th edition, they could have just had T-shirts that said the lesser of two weevils. Because it is
There you go.
it is an election year.
That's true. That is true. That would have been very appropriate. Very good.
I feel like a lot of these get the marketing teams for these, or the promotional or salesmen, are just not capitalizing on these opportunities that they have.
Tombstone would have been good with Doc
Curtius
Holliday, like a say when rum or something. Say when.
I was going to say have your Huckleberry
I got
cigar.
relatives who make.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I got relatives who make their own cider. They're actually here, and they did I'm your Huckleberry cider.
Yeah,
there you
we
go.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's the way to do it. So the construction on this seems to be fairly well put together.
Yeah, we got a long hash going.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Ha, ha.
Yeah.
I do have to clean up the burn line a little bit. I'm a little irregular here. That could be just me in this particular cigar.
So you can help that by rotating your cigar while you smoke.
Oh, yeah? Okay. That's what she said.
That too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've
I'm ashing
noticed that
everyone.
on my end as well.
Yeah, I've got one side.
You know, another be an interesting and ironic one would be The Man with No Name. I don't know if they have any of that, but Clint Eastwood was always having those cigarillos, and the irony was he didn't smoke. And the reason he was always scowling in the movies when he had it is because he hated the taste of it in his mouth.
It's all bitter and shit.
Oh, you ruined it for me.
You ruined the.
I know.
Oh no, he looks so cool.
He does.
Right?
We had a whole
It's funny.
episode around that. Gosh, dang
Yeah.
it.
That's okay. I don't
Yeah.
blame somebody for not liking cigars.
Well,
I think
what's funny
somebody
is
from
he's
your
now-
end of your channel is in the chat.
Yeah, that's one of my buddies. Hey Jay, if you
You know,
want
they-
if you want to furnish crown heads, I'm all for it, man. Just saying.
I'm on board.
I just think it's funny. Clint Eastwood never smoked. He was always big into health, and he's now 93 and kind of
He's
slouched
gonna be
over.
94 next month.
94. Well, I got a relative who just turned 89, and he's still doing manual labor outside his house. So it's like,
Yeah?
and yeah, he didn't smoke either, but it's like, just
You do.
health obsession. I'm not saying he wasn't health obsessed, but just Churchill smoked like a chimney and drank like a sailor and lived to be 90. So
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, George Burns used to do a whole comedy routine that he kept having doctors tell him he needed to give up his bourbon and cigars, and he outlived all of his doctors. So
Yep.
I just watched a clip of that the other day on the YouTubes, no less. It was
How does
He
your
was
doctor
talking
feel about that?
yeah, he was talking to Garson. How's your doctor feel about that? Well, he's dead, so
yeah,
That's what he says about that.
and I think he said he averaged
Now, are
what,
you
10
guys
cigars
drink-
a day.
No, sir.
Something like that.
He did. It was like 10.
10.
What I
10.
said. 10.
that's what he said.
I thought he said
10.
6. Oh, I thought he said 6. My bad.
No, that's me.
No, he said 10.
Rob, you got
So
what
are you
we're drinking?
guys pairing your? Yeah, I was curious if you were pairing your
was.
cigars with anything this evening.
that's what I was saying. It originally. That's what's nice about this cigar is you can kind of really. It's so neutral in its flavor. You can pretty much drink whatever you want. I've got port here, a really nice local port. But I've had bourbons, I've had scotch, I've had rye. You can have pretty much whatever you want. I'm not saying you should have beer with.
Yeah,
that's an
I'm-
interesting question. But is beer an acceptable thing to have with a
Yeah.
cigar?
Absolutely.
I love
yeah.
a beer with a cigar.
Well, last time you
I mean,
talked about having Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper.
It kind of strikes me as cousin Eddie-ish.
I got a backup drink.
Merry Christmas.
I'm
Shit, it
doing
was
the
full.
Dr. Pepper.
There you go.
I'm about
This is
to
alcohol-
do.
this is alcoholic
ginger ale,
ice?
too.
I'm having
finished
Yeah, I
it
had
now.
the,
Butterscotch moonshine.
I'm pairing mine with bourbon, which is my go-to. But I'd also, while I was picking this up earlier today, the gentleman at the cigar shop was recommending bourbon if I was going to be drinking with it. So, and that's a local cigar lounge here. In fact, I talked to the owner of it last week, and depending on how things went, I might have been broadcasting from their location tonight, and he might have even
nice.
been willing to sponsor our episode. So unfortunately,
cool.
he wasn't there when I went in to pick it up today, but the person at the local cigar lounge was very helpful as far as letting me look around their humidor and answering any questions. They had recommended, for me at least with this particular one, to do a V cut on it, and I'm not sure how did you gentlemen cut your cigars this evening?
What do you?
I did a V cut on mine.
Okay.
Straight cut on mine.
Straight on mine.
Great.
I cheated. I went with
I
a
did a
straight
straight
cut
cut,
with a
too.
backstop. So, yeah. Zach's awesome. Zach keeps the V cutter around. It's adorable. It's got
It's
pink
my
on it.
favorite. Yeah.
Pink.
Well, the thing about the different cuts, yeah, it's right. It's pink. It's
I don't
really
care.
about mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people prefer straight cut as their, you know, primary cut for everything. But you know, there's the V cut, which is a different taste, or not a different taste, but a different feel in your mouth. And so is a punch. You know, if you just want a smoothed off, you know, cap, punch is your, you know, your go-to. If you don't want to have your tongue touch tobacco so much, a V cut and a punch would probably be better for you.
That's a good idea.
But it is, you know, it's all about mouthfeel when it comes to different cuts. There's no real advantage, disadvantage. Now, that being said, we have had other people say that, you know, with a punch, it gets a little bit tarry and a little bit more gummy at the end of their cigars.
Yep.
I've experienced that sometimes, but it's usually because, you know, the cigar's over humidified. But it doesn't happen too often with a punch for me.
Punch is usually my go-to, depending on. I don't cut mine based on mouthfeel. I cut mine based on how long do I want it, how long do I have to sit and smoke, and am I going to spend, you know, ow, damn, being attacked by Japanese beetles. I just got dive bombed.
Are they yelling Tora, Tora, Tora as they attack?
I just got hit in the head, man. It's great.
I was gonna say, send a message to Barksdale. They'll send some B-52s to take care of him.
Yeah, they will. But yeah, if I've got this cigar, Zach and I got them these at a event recently, and they're the Robustos, and so I went with a straight cut, knowing that we weren't going to be here for 3 hours. Otherwise, you know, a couple hours, I can turn this into a 2-hour cigar with a punch, and be just as happy. Yeah,
and I usually base the cut that I'm going to use on the cap. If it looks like it's a big like cap that comes farther down the shoulder, I'll go for the V cut because I like it. But if the cap is real shallow, maybe I go for a punch so that the cap stays on and the cigar stays together a little better.
All right, so the different cut.
But all the things the other people said is true.
Gotcha. Got another question. So one of the problems I have with some of the cigar places I go to is I think my theory is they don't move a lot of inventory, so cigars stay there for a long time. So like this one, I mean, it's a great cigar, but it's clearly over dry. So I guess how can you kind of anticipate that? Let's say, you know, it's a local place I went to, so I kind of know that in advance, but you're going to, you know, you're out of town.
Humidor.
Yeah.
Right. But if you buy but I bought this like an hour ago. If you buy the cigar, if you're trying to buy a cigar from a cigar place, what are some ways, if any, to tell whether or not they're being humidified properly?
Most of the time, if I walk into a humidor and it feels like Southern Georgia, you're usually okay, or they're going to be over humidified. But depending on the shop that I'm in, because I used to travel for a living and visit cigar shops, you know, all the time. and I would, whatever sticks I was looking at picking up and buying, I would actually roll it around in my fingers a little bit, because if it or look at it in the cellophane and go, oh, that looks dry, or that looks soggy. I was gonna go with moist.
To give a little bit, I know I've never mentioned this, but I live in the Pacific Northwest. But
No.
we don't really,
Is that why it's
we
still
don't-
sunny?
yeah, we don't have unless you go to a cigar lounge, we don't have that kind of like, we don't have humidor rooms. They're mainly just like shelves. You know what I mean? Like a shelf with a glass door, that kind of thing. And I've been kind of disappointed. And so I've rarely been to a place here because our laws are so weird. We're very anti-smoking in this state, so we don't allow for cigar lounges unless you're on a reservation. So, I guess, do you have any thoughts on the difference between a humidor room or just one of those, glass doors that you open and there's, the shelving or whatever? Like you got it's basically a cupboard with a glass window. Yeah, they got the humidor and the.
Yeah. I
Like the liquor store
I
down
would
the
just
street.
expect it to be dry, and if it's crackly, I would put it in the humidor or in a makeshift humidor to
Interesting.
kind of season a little bit.
So you can humidify a cigar once it's dry. It's not like gone, right? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well,
the more you know.
There's debate about it, I'm sure, but I was given a cigar by a friend who was given a cigar, and he didn't smoke cigars. And he said, this has been sitting on my dresser for a couple months. I'm sure it's super dry, but I don't smoke it. If you can, humidify it, then it's yours. And I accepted the cigar and stuck in my humidor for about 3 months. And it was a Fuente. It was a good cigar. I didn't see anything wrong with it other than
you brought it back to
because
life.
it had gotten
Very
because it had gotten
I
really
didn't know.
dry. The outside was a little had flaked a little bit towards the end of the cigar, but it was
This
fine.
one. I'll show this. I don't know if you can see because of this.
It's coming apart.
sun, but
Yeah, it's coming apart.
Yeah,
It may be a little dry.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
and that's just how it is at all the places in my area. I'd have to order stuff online. I actually just bought an antique phonograph cabinet that the guy was going to turn into a humidor, but he ended up just selling it to me. Really cool, nice piece of cedar wood, or not cedar wood, but it's cherry oak. But we're going to put cedar on the inside and try and turn it into a humidor. So that's probably what I'll do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know
idea.
you. I did not know you can rehumidify cigars. So it kind of makes me feel bad because there's a lot of cigars I probably should have saved and put in a humidor and like rehumidified before trying to smoke them, knowing that they were going to be dry in advance.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
I'm sure
rehumidifying
it
the
probably
cigar you
depends on
have
the quality
may
of
not
the
have saved
cigar.
the outside. Yeah, and how thick the
Fast.
leaf is, all that stuff plays into it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
if you
sure
get
an It's a Boy or It's a Girl would not do nearly as well as a higher quality cigar.
Grim loves
Yeah,
those.
Grim loves he's our resident expert.
That's his favorite.
Hey, well, my maternal grandfather smoked Dutch Masters, so I mean he would go to the
Dutch
drugstore
Masters.
or whatever and would buy a box of
Mhm.
those. Yeah, and that was his brand of choice. But we're talking the early 1970s, so
You can still
Were
get
cigars
those
I
at the gas
particularly
station.
remember the smell of those.
Were cigars? Was there a particular era from? I know the 30s they probably were popular, but was there a particular decade where they were really popular, and then kind of like I'm thinking of like vinyl records, where vinyl records obviously were the mainstay of listening to music, and then they kind of petered out, and mainly in the last 15 years they've kind of had a resurgence, and they've actually surpassed CDs. So has that been going on with cigars?
Yes.
Yes, very
Um,
much so.
the easy answer to that, DJ, is yes. There was a big cigar boom in the '90s, and of course, some of that tapered for a little while, but I think it really kind of picked back up in the early 2000s. When you really started having, so when the craft beer thing started, in the early 2000s, the craft cigar thing kind of went, oh, we can do that too. And so you had manufacturers start thinking smaller batch instead of, thousands and thousands of Fuentes. Let's go smaller batch. Now you've got like this, the pink line, and you've got boutique manufacturers like Roma. It comes to mind mostly because we just talked to them. But they're making, what did he say?
Million a year.
Million a year.
Oh man,
that's all they make.
Damn.
Yeah, and compared to like Drew Estates is what they said, $1 million a month or more.
Yeah, something like that.
It's something like that.
I just find it. Yeah, I find it fascinating how some things can go out of style, and then it's like box TVs. Back in when they were finally moving over to flat screens, everybody was getting rid of their box TV, and then suddenly there was a resurgence of them because there's different qualities that nobody thought about. And an example of that is Super Smash Brothers, which is a Nintendo game. The reaction times on a box TV is much faster, and I can say that from a flat screen. So all these tournaments that they're holding, they use box TVs. Well, if your box TV breaks, you got to go have it fixed by an expert. And there's one guy they were doing an article on where he would do it kind of as a hobby, but then he suddenly had this massive demand to the point where he started like a full-time business just working on old box TVs because of that. I have a box TV. I got a box TV for my Nintendo 64 because the reaction time was so slow on my flat screen. I was like ready to smash the TV and scream.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting how stuff goes out of style or for whatever reason, and then it resurges. Another one that I think of is barbershops. I remember a guy talking about how barbershops back in the 60s when the Beatles came out kind of took a huge hit because guys were wearing their hair really long. They weren't getting haircuts very often. As opposed to like the 50s where they had the crew cut or the, whatever it was called.
Curtain cut.
Curtain cut.
Yeah, the curtain cut and the hind tight.
Yep.
Yeah, hind tight. And so you need a haircut much more often. And now it seems like they've come back because kids aren't wearing their hair as long. From what I'm seeing, they tend to have their hair a little bit shorter. It's not like marine buzz cut, but they're still getting their hair. They're still doing it more often. So I was curious about that with cigars, because of the whole there, especially in the 90s, there was a huge anti-smoking, smoking's bad for you type thing. It reminds me of that line from Gran Torino where the kid goes, smoking's bad for you. And he goes, neither being in a gang, you dipshit.
Yep. Yeah. Well, but that's very interesting you bring that up because if you think about it logically, in the 80s and 90s is when they started the, anti-drug, anti-smoking campaigns, right? Where they started getting really heavy in rotation, especially like when cable coming out and everything just started going everywhere.
In the early 70s, they took the ads off TVs.
Yeah, they took the ads off TVs. So, smoking was kind of a bad thing. But now that those kids have grown up and become adults, they're wanting to go to those bad things that they were told were bad and figuring out, hey, it's not that bad. So I think it's interesting that you do bring that up because again, I was of that age.
Oh, the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Well, then I think it's crazy how back maybe 30, 35 years ago when I was growing up as a tyke, it was possible for you to go into a bar and smoke a cigar at one of the tables or smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
You could just do it. I remember there was that scene from Die Hard 2.
You can do that in McDonald's.
Yeah, it was crazy how.
True.
Waffle House for the win.
Restaurants. Yeah.
Well, there was that one scene where Bruce Willis is smoking in the airport at one of the random tables, And then in Airplane, the movie, they ask smoking or non-smoking. That was one of the jokes, right?
Yep.
Like as if that's going to matter on a plane. And then of course, Motel 6s where they'd say, "Do you want a smoking or non-smoking room?" I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
just crazy. It's crazy how like you would never even think about that kind of thing. Even though now you can still go to a Motel 6 and you can smell the cigar smoke or cigarette smoke from 35 years ago.
Yeah, the ceiling's also still yellow, so
That's
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Or
You got to pay extra for that now.
That's
extra
like
flavor.
Unfortunately,
it's a scratch and sniff.
Unfortunately, guys, I got to head out. It was good chatting, and my cigar is about to die.
It's unraveling,
It's unraveling like our country. So
pretty much. Slow decline and
Wow.
down the toilet.
it was good. It was good hanging out and good chatting, guys.
You too,
Good
DJ.
talking, man.
Talking to you.
Take care.
Catch you. I'll see you on Saturday.
Ah.
Yeah, dirty whore. We're all about that here.
Yeah, Vince and I are old enough that we remember growing up in America where, people were free to do things and go places and enjoy
yeah.
life. And
I grew up in a
Yeah.
smoking household. My parents and my grandparents all smoked. I don't remember not smelling cigarette smoke until everyone quit cold turkey.
yeah, my
Yeah.
grandfather smoked a pipe until he quit cold turkey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My dad would smoke cigarettes occasionally, but not like every day or anything like that.
Okay.
Mostly with friends.
Or if you had a party or
Yeah.
having your coffee in the morning.
Or
Yeah, I remember.
we
I
were
remember
being
running
especially
into
annoying
gas
when he
stations
needed
to buy
to chill.
packs of cigarettes. So for that,
Right. I remember going to Waffle House and smoking cigars in the Waffle House.
There you go.
Mhm.
And then getting into a fight.
Just not with the wait staff or the cook, because
There
it's
you
an ass
go.
beating I wasn't ready for.
Those iron frying pans hurt.
It shit hurts, man. Hot grease is bad for you.
There's ashtray. Remember those amber colored ashtrays? Those amber colored glass
Gibbs
ashtrays.
has got one. There you
You
go.
have one? Oh, that's awesome. Is that vintage, as it were?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where'd you
Mine
get
is
that?
too.
Is that
What is that?
family or?
That was given to me by my mother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
It was one of hers. She gave it to me.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to go to one of my antique stores nearby and
awesome.
find one. Yeah.
It's
Mine
one of my
came from
favorite
an
ashtrays.
antique store. My wife picked it up for me. It's actually from the 40s. It's got this like
Oh,
wood
yeah?
base.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yours
It's
is
not
cleaner
a-
than mine.
Well, yeah. This one's clean.
Yeah.
It's not a great cigar ashtray, although it does have a larger cut for cigars. If you give it anything over I guess whatever this ring gauge is, it doesn't really like to stay in there.
Gotcha. So, what are we thinking about the cigar now that we're about almost, sort of halfway?
Yeah, Gibbs.
I was waiting for
Hey, Gibbs.
Graham.
Oh,
I loved his. I wanted-
Oh,
Take it away, Grim.
Zach. What am I gonna say?
Good.
Hey, Zach, say it.
It's good.
Do it, Zach.
You're like a puppet.
It's good.
it's good.
It's good.
We win.
I'm not using my modifier this time around either. I'm just saying it's straight good.
Good.
You know,
Okay.
there's no very good here. It's just it's good.
That's good.
It's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
For mine, I'm going to say it's so far great. Has great smoke output. No film in my mouth, which perfect for me.
Yeah, I don't taste that either.
Yeah, no film in the mouth. The construction on it's tightly rolled. It's holding together really well. The burn it's burning a little wonky for me now. Which
Yeah, I was gonna say the burn is a little off.
It's a little off on me now, but it didn't start off that way. About half, all the way to this point, it has been evenly burning. So I just need to rotate it a little bit more, let it burn out evenly. But it's a solid cigar. I still enjoy smoking them.
Okay. It's got a good draw too. It's nice and easy.
Mhm.
You're not trying to suck a
Drink a
McDonald's
mocha
milkshake.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of those Shamrock shakes. You wind up with a head rush and passing out.
All the vessels in your brain are, head are popping out. Yeah.
It'd be exploding. Get that one blood vessel pounding in your forehead.
Damn, how
Nah.
much are you sucking a Shamrock shake? I give up after 5 minutes.
Well, when you're a kid, you're trying to do your best. I haven't had a Shamrock shake in
Months.
40 years.
No.
About 40 years.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I don't recall having one.
They were okay, from what I can remember. We were never really. My parents didn't like fast food. We went to McDonald's maybe 3 times a year. It was considered a treat.
Yeah.
My parents like Roy Rogers. Remember Roy Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had great burgers. The best part about Roy Rogers is they would butter their buns. That's right, butter your buns. Butter their buns and then toast them.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think Colt does that now.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. That's the best way to have a hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said Roy Rogers, and I was like, yep, I've had Roy Rogers. I've also had Kenny Rogers. Roasters.
Oh, Kenny Rogers Roasters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Bring back
Holy
the chicken.
crap.
Yeah.
I remember them, but I never ate there. Did you like it?
Real? Yeah. Kenny Rogers Roasters was like the, Boston market of its day, right?
Oh, okay.
Really good chicken, and they had, full chickens that they were roasting all day.
Hmm.
Good place.
Okay. I like how there was never a Boston market in Boston.
Yeah.
Like, what? How did that? What the hell happened with that? That's
I
weird.
know, right? Sounds like a missed opportunity there.
Absolutely. Some of the marketing failed.
So does anybody else have a review?
I'm with Grim. It's good. The construction's, it's got, so far, I mean, mine's not exploding or, dripping with tar, so, and it's burning even. So, it's just one of those, like we talked earlier, it's one of those cigars. It's kind of it's not a go-to, but it's something, it's consistent. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Reliable.
I can go in a cigar shop and pick one up and be, oh, this is going to be good.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be disappointed like I am with Vince.
I'm consistently disappointing you, so there's something to be said for that.
There's consistency there.
Consistency's important.
So I get a 4 out of 5, right?
So far, yeah.
All right, cool. Dirty whore,
Slut.
bastard. Yeah, this is, I now that you told me about rotating the cigar, the burn line is much better now.
Yep. It'll help out a lot.
It certainly has.
I can go next. No issues with the burn. The draw's solid. The flavors haven't changed the whole time. It's been kind of creamy and cedar like at the beginning. And it's not my favorite cigar, but it's good. It's solid, like good cigar.
So
Missing a
you'd
little
smoke
bit
one
of
again.
complexity that I like. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would
Okay.
definitely have another one.
He has a more refined palate, and that's why we go
I
to.
don't know about that.
Well, we go to you for flavors. For flavors, if we want to get flavors out of cigar, we talk to you about that.
Cardamom.
Cardamom. What?
I'm not giving you that on this one.
I'm just trying to get Ben to say something.
I ain't saying shit.
All right, so there's a story there. Do we have to tease it
Okay.
out of you?
Here's the story behind that. They can't go a damn episode without saying cardamom. They can't.
That's
I
like a
think
thing now.
it is their
is.
thing now, and I'm trying to ignore it. Some
killing
of
you.
vestige.
So
Okay.
we were reviewing a cigar, and I don't remember which one it was, but I was looking at the tasting notes from a cigar online retailer, and one of the notes was cardamom, and Yeah, I didn't get that out of the cigar, but Gibbs thought it was funny and slightly irritating, so we poked the bear a little bit.
Of course, now, of course you went with it. Yeah, I
That's the
understand.
thing.
I
Yeah.
understand completely and support that. Now, now, you just mentioned looking at the retailers' tasting notes. Is that for a beginner? Is that a good thing to do?
I think
As far
so.
to get the,
I'm not what I consider. I don't think I consider myself a novice cigar smoker. And hell, I still look at tasting notes.
Okay. All right.
It's,
I don't have my palate doesn't draw out, or I'm like Zach. my brain doesn't go, oh, this tastes like blah, XYZ.
Yeah.
And so going back to somebody else's tasting notes helps me go, oh,
So you're a
that's what this tastes like.
you're a flavor retard, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Tastes like, as one of my favorite
kinda-
cigar people said, it tastes like cigar.
well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
I kind of picked that up from like wine and whiskey tasting and beer
Yeah, yeah.
tasting and
Absolutely, everything has a flavor
that sort of
standard.
thing. Yeah.
I was gonna make a recommendation. If you are gonna look at the tasting notes, do it after you've smoked it, just so you can see if you picked up on what they're picking up on.
Gotcha. So there's no unrealistic expectation or putting like an idea in your head.
Exactly. You get to pick up one that says
Yeah, no
hints of coffee in
subliminal.
it. There you go. Exactly.
Right.
So if you get one that says hints of
Mhm.
coffee in it, and you trying to smoke it, hey, this tastes like coffee, and it doesn't,
Yeah.
you're not disappointed.
Gotcha.
Enjoy the cigar for the cigar, and then go back and look at the tasting notes and be like, okay, yeah, I did pick that up. But
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes total sense.
I've started keeping this little cigar journal that Andy got me, and I try to put notes of things I pick up in it, and so I can remember and can compare to the last time I had it. I don't always get anything that you can like articulate or I can articulate, but it's just interesting. If it had that like this a profile I enjoy, like it was peppery, which is a thing I kind of like in a cigar. That'll be like something I go, oh, that's a peppery cigar. I can look for that next time, maybe. Although it can change from cigar to cigar. Or
That
cardamom.
makes sense.
Or cardamom.
Cardamom. Cinnamon.
Tastes like Christmas.
Tastes like cinnamon.
I've gotten cinnamon a lot more than cardamom.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
all right. How about either one of the Roberts?
I'm just waiting for someone to say something about. I was waiting for someone to say something about hints of star anise and to go with the cardamom. But no,
Hints of leather.
The taste of gold, frankincense,
tell
and
you
myrrh.
what.
as well.
Yes, exactly. It's a cigar worthy of a messiah. No,
I like it.
construction, it's holding together really, really nicely. The burn line is great, and I have been rotating mine. The overall aroma, I mean, just the smell of the burn, even when I'm not taking a draw from it, is really, really pleasant. I mean, if I was sitting inside a bar drinking and this was the prevalent aroma in the room, I would be very much at home and very comfortable with that because it's not pungent and overwhelming, but it adds a nice ambiance, I would say. As to the draw, very easy to do, although I haven't smoked anything since I was probably about 12. So the desire to pull a big draw into my lungs, fighting that natural impulse has been a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, because it's a very different beast, obviously, than a cigarette or, somebody's teen mother introducing you to more illegal or illicit substances when you were much, much too young to experience such things. But
That sounds like an interesting story.
overall, I
Maybe
really
hear a
story.
oh,
Right.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
my life, were it written down, would pass as the most unbelievable of fiction. It
I'll be your
really is.
biographer.
My first experience. Oh, of that I have no doubt. Like, I can see your embellishments making it all the more fanciful. No, well, just my first experience with another smoking substance as a friend of mine's mother when I was in
marijuana
elementary school, and she wasn't that much older than she's probably about 16 years older than us. So yeah, she shotgunned that to me, and the idea of a grown woman putting her lips that close to mine and blowing smoke into that was fairly erotic. And it's like, oh, this is an interesting experiance. But
fairly erotic.
anyway,
I'm turned on right now.
Right?
You got a weird feeling in your swimsuit area.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Far more so.
I would agree.
Than
I would agree
any,
with Robert about the ambiance and
hit or anything else. Yeah,
I'm
just
cracking up
the smell of it is really, really pleasant.
I'm cracking up
it's not going to be super
comment.
offensive.
Y'all
which
saw
one?
that? The one about the dead hooker's asshole.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, that one.
Thanks, Miguel.
Hey, Miguel.
Yeah. But like I said, I
Did you
did a
have
V
a
cut on
fan with
this.
no
I'm able to get a good draw off of it. It's burning really well. I have added a little bit of flame to it once since the initial lighting, but it's overall it seems to be a pretty nice cigar. I would probably recommend it to someone as, oh, I tried this. It was really pleasant. Not really getting much of a film or anything in my mouth. I do have a little bit of a taste of something, but I'm not quite sure how I would describe it as far as the
hard to classify
flavor, because it's just very, very mild. Well, and it's blending really well with the bourbon I'm drinking. So I don't know how much the taste of the bourbon or the sweetness of the bourbon is perhaps changing or adding to the flavor of the cigar, but as a pair, it pairs really, really well with the bourbon. I would say the guy at the cigar shop was dead on about that and very accurate in that as well. So,
what bourbon
but I
are
mean,
you
it's not quite halfway gone, but it's. I am drinking my go-to. It's a Carl T. Huber's. It is produced at Starlight Distilleries in southern Indiana. It's an Indiana straight bourbon, 92 proof, aged 4 years. Bottle is probably got. I just opened it for tonight's show, by the way, and this bottle is probably about 3 years old. In and of that, it's one of the early bottles of this particular. When I discovered this bourbon, I bought several bottles, so this is one of the older bottles, because usually I drink the newer ones as I get them, and I've let this bottle age. So for this particular show, I went on ahead and opened it up. So and it's paired magnificently with this cigar.
Nice.
So,
it does sound
do you
tasty.
notice a difference between the old and the new?
I
on
highly
that,
recommend
or is
both.
it? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Can you tell the difference between the older and the newer one?
As far as the bottles, flavor-wise, it's pretty consistent. It's this particular brand of bourbon is around $30 to $40 a bottle, depending on where you buy it. It is much better than what I would consider a mass-produced big label bourbon. I would like to see how it compares to one of the name brand high-end bourbons insofar as I think it's incredibly smooth and is a wonderful sipping bourbon, both straight or on the rocks, or even with a shot of carbonated water. In fact, I was just in Western Illinois. There's a band from the 70s called Angel. They were label mates of Kiss. In fact, Gene Simmons helped get their record contract with Neil Bargard at Casablanca Records. And 3 of the basically original members of the band are still in it. So almost half the guys are original dudes. And I spent 2 nights with them at their concerts, and also spent an evening in the lobby drinking a bottle of this with the lead guitarist of the band. And in fact, I had about a half a bottle left when all was said and done, and I actually gave it to the lead singer just to as a thank you for hanging out and such. But
Nice.
this being a little bit older, I would say it's probably even a little bit smoother, because I've already gone through a couple of glasses, and I
Feeling good.
have I've just done a couple of tall bourbon glasses, or 2 fingers or 4 fingers or anything like that. It's just really, really subtle, very, very pleasant, incredibly smooth. And I think this bottle, being a little bit older than one I would have bought off the shelf just last weekend, it's even smoother still. The aging process for it has just, even though it's not aged in the cask, it's been aging in the bottle in my office where I normally broadcast from. It's even a little bit smoother. So it's definitely, whenever I get together with Vince in person sometime, it's definitely a bottle of something I'm planning on bringing with me to share with Vince and some of the guys from Masculine Geek.
Hell yeah.
So
That'd be great.
Nice.
yeah, it's absolutely my go-to, because it's a local brand, and I'm not paying for the bragging rights that it's Pappy Van Winkle or
Yeah.
Max Von, super expensive douchey whiskey, whatever. And it's just
Douchey whiskey.
a really high quality
whiskey.
Yeah, Zach.
product. Well,
Another marketing
well, think about it.
opportunity.
It's like, I can spend $100 or more for a bottle. Yeah, $100 or more for a bottle of bourbon. At least half of what I'm paying is for the bragging rights of the name on the side of the bottle. And I would much rather support a local business making a quality product, because they're genuine artists and craftsmen making a quality product. They have a blackberry whiskey, and I am usually not a fan of the flavored stuff, because it's usually, here's our dregs of whatever alcohol we produce, and here is the artificial flavor. And this isn't. They actually put blackberries into like the cauldrons and in the barrels, and they put some science and some craftsmanship behind it. And their blackberry whiskey from Starlight Distilleries is absolutely amazing. It is also wonderful to sip, and I have heard from several people it makes absolutely magnificent cocktails and mixed drinks. But it is just so good. I drink it over a little bit of ice. So yeah, you can find any product from Starlight Distilleries in your guys' local area. I highly recommend the Carl T. Hooper's bourbon, and also their blackberry whiskey. So
Starlight
stuff
Distilleries.
from Indiana.
Mick,
Yeah.
Put that on the list, Zach.
not to take away from you, but I did like Mictobus. I think it's Mictobus. That just just commented about when you're smoking with a group of friends,
You just add it up on the channel.
immediately just kind of remove the band from your cigar, because price really doesn't matter. You enjoy what you enjoy. That's actually a good tip.
It's true.
I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because when you are like in the lounge or whatever, you may be smoking a $30 cigar, and somebody beside you smoking $7 cigar. Doesn't matter. That's what they like. Let them smoke it. But yeah, ooh, yeah. Now we get to see the Starlight Distillery. That's cool.
Ooh, pictures.
So that older bottle, does it have a
There
natural
it is,
cork
blackberry.
or is it a synthetic cork? Because the natural cork will breathe a little bit, from what I understand, and you'll lose a little.
It looks natural.
Yeah, it looks natural.
Yeah, it'll lose a little bit of its alcohol potency, but that could be to its benefit to, reduce the strength over time and get it proofed down to what's perceived smoother or more pleasurable. I know a lot of
toasted oak.
Yeah, because it starts off as a 92 proof, and but if I were to show you, I'm having camera issues. I'm on a completely jerry-rigged system right now, but it still has a nice dark amber color to it. So
yeah.
So Starlight Distillery, if
off
you're
at
looking
92
for,
proof at age 4 years.
I'll have to reach out to them.
I'll say yeah, Starlight Distillery. If you're looking to sponsor somebody, I'm asking the Geek right now.
There you go. There's a blackberry smash featured cocktail. 2 teaspoons of
there you go.
sugar, 2 ounces of Starlight Distillery blackberry whiskey, 3 ounces of club soda, half of a lime, and some ice cubes. There you go.
That
I like
sounds
it.
delicious.
Yeah, right? That'd be great in the summertime, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds tasty.
All right, that's next on my list. I'll be up in the Pocono Mountains, not this weekend, next weekend. I got a cabin. This would be perfect for that.
So, Robert, are you already done with your cigar?
No.
I'll say, what do you think of it?
It's like coming back to an old friend. I mean, this was my go-to for the longest time, and then I jumped over to the other brands and types, and it's been, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months since I've had one of these, and I love the familiarity of it. It's perfect, and I love it. It burned even all the way down. Smoke input was great. Smoke output was better. Yeah, no issues with any of it.
Nice.
What you want in a cigar?
Yeah,
Exactly.
This is one to put on the list.
You said 6
Yeah,
to
I
7
could
months,
definitely see
Robert.
making a habit of getting together with you guys and smoking one of these.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to think the last time I had one. Dang.
Well, next time we'll kick it up a notch. We'll go one step higher.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
You want to give us a hint?
Okay.
I don't know yet. I'm probably going to talk with the guys and see what we can come up with, because what I have in my mind may be too strong.
All right. What?
What, the asylum?
No.
The lunatic?
I mean, if you can get your hands on a Roma Craft, yes, I would say let's all smoke a Roma Craft. Because
Sure.
I think
do
that
that.
would be an enjoyable experience for everyone. They're
We'll
great
definitely have you
cigars.
guys back on as regulars, as it were.
We appreciate that. We'll be happy to come on.
Cool. Yeah, it's good hanging out with you guys.
Fine. Okay. Twisting my arm.
I know.
If
Hey,
we
you got
have
nothing to
to.
do. When you're done cleaning out your sock drawer,
Yeah.
you can come on the show.
So tomorrow. Gotcha.
Tomorrow.
Or Friday. Either works.
Tomorrow, Friday, sure. Or both. What the hell?
You know, we're easy. We're flexible.
That's good. We heard it. We heard that about you guys.
Yeah, for
I
tech,
am not flexible.
for tech guys
I
that
have no idea.
work with Vince, you're all right.
All right.
I don't know if that was a backhanded comment or what there.
It was kind of, it was a little bit of both, really. That's
both,
fine though.
yeah.
We're all degenerates, so it works.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I got to put mine down. I'm burning my fingers.
Oh my god. I still have.
that's fine.
Well, we're talking
Still
about
have half of
cigars
mine.
and bourbon, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Two
I
subjects
do
there.
too. I have right around the halfway point.
Did you get the Connecticut?
Yeah,
The Churchill. size?
I'm sorry, Vince. You kind of glitched out because of my stream, but what
That's
was
right.
that?
Did you get the size wise? Did you get the Churchill?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I have.
Nice.
Yeah, I tried to match up exactly with what you had so that we would be on the talking about the same thing at least.
All right, that makes sense.
And you guys are smoking it the right way. You're supposed to slowly draw this out and make it an experience. So you're doing
Absolutely.
it right.
The ritual is very nice. It's very
Yes.
very pleasant, right?
Yep.
We talked about that before. The ritual of it.
We have talked
Yeah.
about that.
Yep.
The whole thing with a cigar is you're supposed to draw it out as long as possible to get the full flavor of the cigar, to not get what I just got and just burn my fingers with it, you know? Because I mean, if you smoke it too fast, they do get hotter very quickly,
Yeah.
and of course they start burning faster. And of course we're trying to squeeze it into an hour episode, so we're smoking it a little bit faster than what we really should be, but it is a more pleasurable experience, and you can get the full flavor of the cigar when you do draw it out longer.
The flavors changed a little bit.
It'll do
They
that.
do that usually
Yeah.
about halfway.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little more. I would say heavier, but it's a little more rich.
Yeah, the potency definitely picks up towards the end
Yes.
of the cigar.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's normal.
It's like it's been percolating the entire time. It's good. I
All
like
of those
Mhm.
flavors are getting concentrated towards the head of the cigar, and you're getting more of that.
it. You're getting more cardamom, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more carbon.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's on board. It's all good.
Absolutely. I will definitely start using that word for the hell of it.
Just send it to Gibbs and an IM every once in a while.
Yeah, right. Cardamom. Just say cardamom and then leave. That's funny.
Appreciate that.
Well, you could always.
And sorry if it gets a little loud over here. It's starting to rain.
Well,
So
you
Oh, that's all right. You were saying something about thunderstorms holding
well,
off.
Vince, you can.
What?
Yeah. Vince, you could always add that to the end of the stream. You know, Aaron is gay and cardamom or something.
Cardamom.
You could always do
Yep.
it that
And
way.
cardamom for Gibbs.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get instant messages from now on from everybody.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get them now. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
You'll
it.
get them at work tomorrow. Don't worry.
Word.
Right through Teams.
Hit me on the side. I'll send you a cell phone number.
There you go. Do it. Yep. Yeah. I'll start creating some memes. I'm good at that. You guys been watching my Instagram? I've been
Oh yeah.
fucking Clary up with those. Yeah. So that news article that I put Clary's face in, that's an actual news article that I pulled off the internet, and I swapped out the girl's profile with Aaron Clary. Yep.
That's awesome.
If you guys are not following me on Instagram, you have to do so.
For sure. I know I do.
Yeah, it's definitely fun times.
Yeah.
I don't know what the internet is.
You're a very lucky man. That's really my only social media right now. Is Instagram.
I keep getting notifications on Instagram, and I just ignore them. I have no idea. Like I've logged in once because I think Ben told me.
Oh, okay. You really have to curate your reality on social media.
Oh yeah.
But you don't want to go down rabbit hole. It's easy to get caught up with stuff that's even remotely interesting, and then you start getting recommended items based on what you've been watching,
Yep.
and then that's the worst. And you have to start
I know.
blocking and muting things.
You end up with stuff from the leaf
sure.
cutters, and it's terrible.
I
It's
just
fucking
block the
terrible.
hell out of you guys all the
As
time.
you should.
I've tried reporting you, but I don't know if it's worked yet. Have you guys?
It's
still
not
alive?
Yeah, we're
Keep
still
doing it.
Keep reporting you.
Keep
Instagram
reporting
says
us.
your claims were unfounded, so they'll
It's
just
like,
keep
we-
doing it.
Like we've researched this and we've just decided that they haven't violated the policy yet.
Let me know which one you want to complain about. I'll
Valid.
violate it for anybody.
Thanks.
Right? Oh, that's funny.
Poor Vince, all he gets from me are pictures of American and Japanese toys. So
No, hey, I
that's
appreciate
pretty
that
much
too.
my Instagram and Twitter.
Nice.
Occasionally
those.
books, comic books and such. But
No,
Yeah, I got
that's
comic
cool.
books. for
No, I
Facebook.
can definitely appreciate that.
Grimbles likes comic books.
A
I
lot.
do enjoy comic books.
Oh yeah,
A lot.
okay.
Robert
What
does
do you guys
too.
What are you guys into lately?
Depend. I mean, mainline stuff. You know, anything Batman is so good. But there's a couple like Beneath the Trees where Nobody Sees is a comic where it basically looks like the Bernstein Bears, but it's about serial killers.
That wasn't to, that wasn't to you. That wasn't to you. That was to Mictibus. There's a reason. Well, I'll tell you that after you continue. Keep going.
Well, now I have no idea.
Batman and
What's this bear? What's this Bernstein Bears or serial killers? Hang on a minute.
the
Bernstein Bears.
Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees is based. The art style is basically the Bernstein Bears, but it's about serial killers. You know, it's actually really dark, but it's a lot of fun to read.
Okay.
That sounds cool.
I
Sounds
got to
like fun.
pick one of those up and show it to Riley because my youngest is into Five Nights at Freddy's. So
Oh, jeez, Christ.
It might be a little bit darker than that.
It's
Grim's like,
Jesus.
can I backpedal here? Can I take back
No,
what I just said?
you know,
it's out, man. It's out.
You keep a shovel in your car.
I'm not allowed to talk
and
about
lawn darts and rope and wait, what? No.
You have to have the kit with you. I got mine. I mean, what?
that. Don't forget the lie.
You gotta have problem solvers.
Lye, canvas tarps, duct tape, rope. Yeah, all the stuff.
But you have to
Just
buy it in
in
different
case
places. Different places.
You have
and
to
not on
buy
a
in
credit
different
card.
places and in
And with
cash and in different states.
And make sure you wear your hoodies.
Yeah.
Or a hat.
Yeah. At each place you go to, you wear something different. Yeah. I mean, what?
If
Good
one
Lord.
thing my wife's murder mystery, shows have taught me is definitely how to become a good killer.
Yeah, you got to learn how to spell Berenstein again.
Mictibus, were you on the broadcast on Friday night when we were talking about the Mandela effect on with Brian Bowden and the whole CERN collider going online and shifted? They fucked with a couple molecules and shifted us over one universe. Yeah, go back and
Is
watch
that what
that,
happened?
gentlemen. Yeah, it did. Go back and watch Masculine Geek, our Rogue Friday broadcast with Brian Bowden, paranormal investigator.
I'll try to
Yep.
Gibbs Alley.
Yeah.
Gibbs likes ghosts.
Yeah, Brian's always fun. He brings a lot of energy to the room, as it were. But yeah, whoever's watching and you got gentlemen, yeah, go back and watch that.
I definitely am into that stuff, but as
Yep.
far as ghosts go, I am definitely a skeptic of the groups that I've been in ghost hunting.
That's why we keep you along, man.
That's right.
Because you're a skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you need
Every
one
else
in
freaks out.
every.
You're like, you're stupid. Stop it.
You need one person in every group to shit in your cereal.
Yes.
You really, no, you do.
I'm
Yeah,
always
that's-
full of shit too, so
Right? That's why we let you do most of the talking.
It makes for good entertainment, right?
We hope so. I mean,
It really does.
Speaking of ghosts, Rob, look at you.
Oh, there you go.
there you
You're
go.
out on your back porch.
Actually, I'm on my front porch.
Oh, okay.
All you need
I
is
have
the-
better Wi-Fi signal out here.
Gotcha.
All,
Do you have a
all
swing
you need is
too?
the voice disguiser, and you be one of
So-
those guys on a documentary
Right.
explaining what you saw.
A witness that wants to be
With your name
anonymous.
across the bottom.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised my internet signal that I'm not
There you go.
coming
You're
across all digitalized as far as the audio and stuff goes. But I did want to share. I mean, that's
Oh yeah, you're enjoying that thing.
if I can get that. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also enjoying this
Copious
thing,
amounts of
too,
adult
so-
beverage.
There you go.
There-
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh yeah.
That's the money shot right there.
Yeah, all I need is a serving wench pouring my drink, and it would be pretty much a perfect evening because it's not raining, which is the first time in about 3 weeks. So I actually was able to mow the lawn, which for a 55, almost 56-year-old man with push mower, I still mow my own GD lawn. So the paramour keeps saying, you should really hire someone to do that, or I'll even hire someone to do that for you because your time is too valuable. And I'm like, nah, when I get to be too old to mow my own yard, I'll quit, but I'm not to that point yet. So
And there's something about actually cutting your own grass that it sometimes is just soothing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, just get out there. And cut
I
your grass.
like doing my own stuff, whether
There's
it's
there's a
whether
zen
I'm
quality. There's a
washing
zen
dishes
quality
by
to it.
hand instead of
Yeah.
using the
Yeah.
machine or
Yeah, for sure. I was
Yeah,
thinking when you said
there's
that, I was
just,
thinking washing dishes
I
is
don't
like a
understand. There
meditation
seems to be
almost.
Yeah.
well with washing dishes, learning I that's something one of my I had talked to my son who's in his 20s, son number 3, zen to dishwashing, and it's something I learned when I was probably about for a meal, all pepper I can drink, and a free pizza or a hamburger or something like that during the course of the evening. And there is a definite zen to doing it. But I think what's interesting to me is there seems to be an entire generation of young men who seem incapable of doing the most rudimentary or basic things, like the idea of cutting grass, washing dishes, putting up a shelf, changing a light switch, or a wall outlet. I mean, things that I consider to be very much common knowledge that you pick up as a little boy, they're just absolutely oblivious to. And it's like, even if you give them the tools and basic instructions, they just look at you as if you are speaking some kind of ancient eldritch language out of something from H.P. Lovecraft,
Yeah.
talking of the elder gods or something like that. And it's I think that's kind of a shame, because I think you learn to appreciate things more, being able to do certain things yourself, but also that
Absolutely.
independence and self-reliance, I think, is incredibly important to all young men. You
Well,
know,
I mean,
and maybe
I
that
think
makes
you-
me old-fashioned, but
Well,
Not
I
at
think
all.
you have a good point. I think it's really how kids are raised these days. They're not raised the same way.
Mhm.
It sounds like you have a similar upbringing where I was, where my father taught me all this stuff. He took the time, even though sometimes he didn't have the patience
Right.
But he took the time to, if he was doing a project or something, he would drag me along, just so even if I wasn't doing the work myself, I at least was there to see it. So I would have that basic knowledge growing up. So if I wanted to do something, I could do it, and I wasn't, hesitant about it or scared to do it. It's like, oh, I've seen my dad do this, plenty of times. I can do it.
Definitely.
But
Right.
I don't think that's
Well,
happening now. I really don't. I don't think,
No.
that same mentality is not there, where it's being passed down to the next
No.
generation of basic things.
You get such a
Right.
well, I get such a
I was
sense of
just-
satisfaction from doing that kind of stuff. You
Yeah.
like
Yes.
set up the job, you do the
Absolutely.
job, and you're like, I did that. You can see that I did it.
Well, I just
try to do
was
vehicle
blessed. For
maintenance
one
as
thing,
much as I
covered.
can.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I miss about my old car. My first car was a 1970 Pontiac Firebird with a 350 in it. Automatic transmission, unfortunately. I wish it had been the manual because it would have been even faster. But I absolutely love that car, and there was almost nothing I couldn't do to that car because I know I put brakes on it. I know I replaced a fuel pump on it. I know I did some other stuff with the shocks and the exhaust, and I mean, there's just all kinds of different things I did, and I could do that. Whereas now you have to have a special key from the manufacturer to even access certain components because of all
the keyless entry
digital technology and stuff like and just various parts of the engine that you can't even get to
It's a
try
huge
to
pain in the
service
ass.
anything.
Yeah.
And he's right. You have to have a
And,
special tool just to be able to access some things.
Right.
But
Which,
similar
on the make and model. Yeah.
Yeah, I say similar upbringing with I had a 1970 Cougar, Mercury Cougar.
Oh yeah.
That's the car I started with. Had a two barrel carburetor. I learned how to work on that. Had a 351 Windsor in it. I love that car, and there was probably nothing I couldn't do with that car, just because when I was growing up, I had to work on it myself, or else I didn't have transportation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel you there, man.
Well, and one of the other things I think is a benefit that at least guys as old as like Vince and I, who grew up in the predominantly in the 70s and then into the 80s in our teen years, there was almost nothing we couldn't do if we wanted to. I can remember I had tried to call my grandmother. I dialed the wrong number, and I ended up talking to this little old lady who whose kids were, adults and everything else. And she, at the end of the conversation, she made sure I actually had her number so I could call her back periodically. Never got to meet this old lady before she passed away. The first time I saw her was at her funeral service. But apparently she had talked about me, that her little boy had called again on a every other weekend or whatever. And when she passed away, her son actually put me to work. I was probably maybe 10 years old, and he asked me if I could come and mow grass on their property. And we're talking several acres on a riding mower, and I'm 10 years old and no experience, but my very first time is hopping on that riding mower at 10 years old and mowing 3 acres or plus out in the country here in Indiana. And I just learned. And the same way with that dishwashing job, my dad, who sadly wasn't my biological father, but that was something I didn't find out about until I was 40. He worked for Wonder Bread, and there were several times in the summer he would swing by the house and pick me up, and I would ride on his bread route and I would be yanking trays of bread out of the back of the truck, throwing them on a cart, wheeling them into the store, doing all the presentation and facing on the bread in the store. But also because of that, he delivered to several restaurants, and he was a super nice guy. He was just a good guy. Very bad taste in women because he ended up with my mother, but that's a whole other story. That's probably for another evening. But I love my mom dearly. But it's been a very interesting relationship with her. But because he was such a nice guy, and because he had so many kids, I'm the oldest of 8 within that family. These restaurant owners and managers took pity on him and said, look, you can't afford to take your family out for dinner like, a person with a family of 4 or whatever. So you bring him here and we'll give you the employee discount. And they took care of my dad that way, and he took care of them at work. And so we were eating at this family restaurant that was like a diner plus a pizza place. And I guess their dishwasher didn't show up one Friday night. And the owner came out and asked my dad, it's like, hey, could I maybe borrow one of your kids to do some dishes for us since our dishwasher didn't show up? Yeah, and since I was the oldest, I immediately volunteered, and I did such a good job that they're like, would you come and do this every Friday and Saturday night? And I'm like, sure. So that turned into, like I said, getting paid cash under the table, which is the best way to earn 80 finances, I think, even as an adult in your 50s. Yeah. If you can get a job cash under the table, you're winning.
Absolutely.
But again, like I said, all Dr. Pepper I could drink, had the radio in the back turned to the local rock radio station. So I'm listening to, early 80s rock music, washing dishes, in the zone, completely zen. And we're talking like scalding hot water and scalding hot rinse, and then the sterilization tanks, which is basically boiling water that you stick the dishes in these trays where you just slide your hand in, you would basically lose all the flesh off your hand. But, sometime during the course of the night, I got a stromboli or a pizza, or I could make myself a hamburger and fries on the grill, which turned into occasionally when the cook was gone, it's like, hey, we've got some orders. Could you cook this food? And it's like, I'm not a cook. I'm not trained as a cook. And you
are now.
I'm like, I'm a 14 to 16-year-old kid in the back room cooking food for people.
You learned a trade on the fly.
Exactly. And you could do that. And you basically, life was a series of jumping from the deep end of one pool into the deep end of the next. And I'm sorry, but that's just great preparation for life. Yeah. It just absolutely is.
Learn that work ethic.
We need to get Miguel on a show because he is cracking me up, man.
Right. Well, if you want, he can come over and cut your lawn for you.
Yeah.
No, he's got Mexicans for that.
No, he has he is right there.
They're great landscapers.
Jay and Miguel are in my Twitter cigar group. So, yeah, I invited those guys over to check us out.
Cool.
Appreciate it because, like I said, I've been cracking up. Just watching the responses he's had.
I'm with Miguel though. Kids don't have what he said earlier. Kids don't have an excuse. YouTube's there for a reason. Even in my mid 40s, I've done the whole shit. How do I figure this out? And somebody somewhere on YouTube has put up a video, especially when it comes to some of the newer car stuff.
Oh, for sure. I definitely take advantage of that for car maintenance and motorcycle maintenance.
Yeah,
mine's plumbing. When it comes to plumbing, I hate plumbing. I hate it with a passion.
When you clog your toilet from that monster dump you take.
That's it. How do I get the monster dump out? And I've learned from all the Asian infomercials that there's this little suction thing you can just stick in there, pump it all out at one time. It works every time. I don't know how true that is. I haven't bought that, but changing out the pressure regulator in your shower. Plenty of videos on that.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's definitely a good source, and he's right. You don't have an excuse.
Correct. There's
Well, that's the
sort of
thing. It seems
mindless-
like we
there's
have
mindless Zen
all the
jobs that are
knowledge
really good.
anyone could want. Yeah, it seems like we have all the knowledge anyone could ever want at the touch of our fingertips, but I've never seen people more clueless than they are, despite the ease of access to information. It's
Well, here's the thing with
shocking.
technology.
Of course, I could just become a grumpy old man drinking bourbon, smoking cigars, and hanging out with a bunch of other old farts bitching about stuff.
Exactly.
Get
Well,
off my lawn.
here's get off my internet lawn. Here's the
Yeah.
thing with technology. Human nature doesn't give a shit about technology.
Right?
It doesn't
Granted.
change. Yeah.
Well, I think it actually hinders us a little bit because now you feel that maybe I don't have to learn this because I can just go look it up.
Well, it's so easy because you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
when we were growing up, we didn't have this.
yeah,
We had what? Encyclopedias and mentors.
exactly.
And
You had to
That
learn
was
it.
it.
This is it. You had to store it all here.
You had to be a detective. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Well,
you learned as you go. You
plus
made a
just-
mistake. And that's how you learned.
Well, it's like with phone numbers. I remember growing up, I had like 20, 30 different phone numbers memorized.
I still
Because
remember my
that,
home phone
you know,
number.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember my parents' old phone number. 248-1046, area code 317.
779
It's not their number now, so please feel
Yep.
free to call it.
Yeah, call it. Shut up.
I
And
remember
if
mine
you
'cause
want,
people would
call
leave out a number and call 911.
837-5309 and ask for Jenny.
There you go. Nice.
I had a buddy
This
who
could
talking about
become a
old,
habit,
remember an old.
gentlemen.
Hey, I'm all for it. This is
Yes.
this is a regular habit. I know Zach and I get together almost once a week, and Gibbs and I and Zach and these other two Grimbles and Rob. Part of the reason we do this show is kind of an excuse to get together and actually have a cigar and just kind of
Absolutely.
shoot the shit. And
Yeah.
but as long as I've been smoking, it's nice to be able to go, hey Zach, you busy? Gibbs, you
Right.
busy?
Yeah.
You know, Grumbles is hard to get hold of, man. He's
Well-
on the Xbox.
Yeah. Well, this is. I mean, Vince can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean that's kind of in part the idea behind Masculine Geek is the fact that we are
Yeah.
a group of guys that get together every Wednesday to talk about different, basically men's hobbies and interest and things, unapologetically, and it's very much from the male perspective of things, and we're not interested in women playing Warcraft or women playing Warhammer. It has nothing to do with that. It's about what we are interested in, what we do, what we want to do. And unlike a lot of guys on YouTube, you're not, if someone brings up the new Star Wars
Just
movie,
one function for
yeah,
a
I
woman.
will tell you, I didn't go see them. I wasn't I gave the first one a try. I was greatly disappointed, and I said, screw that, because I'm not going to waste my time or my money. And we're not about, going to see stuff we hate and paying people that hate us to consume their product just so we have content to bitch about every week on YouTube.
And I
we
don't-
would much
we
rather
don't-
talk about the stuff we
Yeah,
like
we don't
and the
do
stuff
we don't do
love.
we don't do red meat.
We don't do red meat. Wait, I like barbecue, and
Yeah.
No,
like
yeah.
steak, dude.
like
No,
Steak,
that stuff,
barbecue.
absolutely, yeah. You dirty whores. But
Yeah.
as far as like pop culture red meat,
I could
what's
use a good
trendy
brisket.
now?
oh yeah, Give him smoke.
No,
break.
Because,
Robert-
I mean, why would we spend an hour?
Robert's
Go ahead,
correct
Vince,
about
please.
Robert's correct about the origins and the mission statement behind Masculine Geek.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to put this down.
Yeah,
Should've
let
left
mine
that
down. I know, right?
down.
Yeah.
This is-
that's what she said.
Mhm.
But I mean,
So,
look
yeah,
at how
we'll
this is
definitely have you
burning
guys-
and
We'll definitely have you guys on as regulars.
Yeah.
Very
We'll
cool.
Robert's,
be here.
Robert's smoking that Churchill like I do.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a
Be here
good
for another
job.
3 hours.
Yep.
Commend
Well,
you,
we're coming
sir.
up on 2 and we still got it.
well, I mean, I thought that was the whole point of doing
No,
this
you're
was to
Absolutely right.
savor
Oh, yeah.
the experience.
That too, Mictobus, but that's only a side benefit.
Midlife crisis. Hell, I'm not living to 90.
Right.
Midlife crisis should've been 10 years ago.
Mictobus is an old a OG MG follower from the beginning.
Nice.
Yeah, he used to be part of Masculine Geek Life, but he bailed out of that faggot.
I'll say we got some OG followers. It's Grim and Andy and Zach and Robert.
Everybody here,
They just happen to be on the same podcast.
right?
Jokes on that I don't follow.
That's true. Grim doesn't follow. So.
No,
You know,
he's like the hell with you
what's
guys.
amazing is I've dumped ash a couple times, but just this,
Yeah.
even after it's burned, it wants to stay intact.
That's
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
this
got a little bit of ash on
really
the
nice
floor, but-
cigar.
Yeah.
good construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made 3 ashes in the ashtray and 1 in my lap. So
I just had
It's
one
a
on my lap
successful
now.
cigar.
Yeah.
That's just sacrificial to the cigar.
That's
guys.
actually part of the ritual, is ashing in your lap.
it's kind of a requirement, especially for Jay and Miguel.
it's good for wounds too. Just rub it in. It's good times.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Don't do that. That's a lie. It's fallacy. I don't want
It's
to.
fake. It's fake.
I don't know. Try it. It'd be fun. Let us know.
Ash in your pants.
Helps it grow.
That's right.
It's like fertilizer.
Knuckle
Going
Fergie
back,
Johnson.
going
Carmine.
back to
Real
something
man,
TJ
yeah.
was mentioning about the place he went, the cigar sitting there for a while. The place I went to get this, they have a table outside their store full of cigar boxes that they're like, $2 for a box or 6 for $10 or something like that. And I periodically will stop by there and pick up one because my youngest son, who's in single digits age-wise, likes having the really nice wooden cigar
Can't see that
boxes
shit. What the fuck you doing?
to store his treasures and trinkets and things that he collects in it. So he has like one that he has his D&D dice, and which, as a matter of fact, I just got him a green, which is his favorite color, Crown Royal bag to put his dice in.
Yeah,
for
that's the
cigar
original
box. But
D&D
anyway,
dice bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
So,
dad used to take the cigar boxes, and he was a woodworker, and he would put his different screws and different cigar boxes, and he knew exactly which one had the certain one that he needed for that time. He just grabbed that box and used it.
Right. Yeah, but the point I was getting to in reference to TJ is that table is almost constantly full of different new boxes. Every other day it seems like that I stop by there because they're right next to a bagel shop that we go to as well, and
Bagels.
so I know
That's a good smell.
they go through products. So despite the fact that they have a really nice humidor room with a really nice display of various cigars, they seem to go through their stock on a fairly regular basis. So there's a chance that if you go in there, you're going to get something that hasn't been sitting on the shelf for the last 6 months to a year, which seems to be an issue for TJ where he's located. So I'm assuming you guys all have your favorite go-to spots for cigars that where you're basically a regular and they know you when you walk in. And do you ever have them like recommend, hey, we just got this in new, if you want to try it or anything like that?
Oh, for sure. I don't know that
Oh,
they
yeah.
know my name, but they definitely will make recommendations of what's new, and I'll often ask. Someone will come in refilling something, and say what's new or interesting, and they'll point out the new stuff for you. That's the thing I
Yeah,
enjoy about going to the shop.
our shop that Graham and Robert and I usually frequent is Thick Ash Cigar. Um,
That's where I got
Tim,
my cigar.
yep, Tim pretty much knows us now and greets us when we come in, and he's always he doesn't push anything on you, but if you're sitting there just kind of trying to figure out what you want, he will make recommendations like, hey, look, you might want to try this. He's made several really good recommendations. So yeah, I've been nothing but happy with Tim's recommendations and have no problem taking his recommendations because everyone that he's given is just knocked it out of the park. It's been good smokes.
Nice.
Sometimes I
Yeah,
can't get
So
it again,
obviously,
which
like with
sucks.
any other,
Like the Carolina Blues that I've been
Damn
looking
it.
for. But I
Damn
did
it.
hear that they're having a problem with their manufacturing, so that's why we haven't been able to get them. It's not that he's not carrying it anymore. It's that literally they're having problems, and he literally upstates me every time I mention it. He's like, "Look, I got text from the guy. They're still having problems."
More rollers.
Excuses.
Yeah,
so
I know,
like,
right?
so like with any other hobby or activity, you guys would recommend cultivating a positive relationship with your local proprietor of a cigar shop
Mhm.
or cigar
Always.
bar
Always.
to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean they've seen the most of it regularly, and they're gonna put quality stuff usually in front of you. They're not there to push, well, some of them are there to push a certain agenda of a certain brand, but not all of them. A lot of them are just there for, hey, I want you to have a good experience when you come in my shop, so I'm going to recommend good stuff.
Mhm.
Mm.
The good ones are
I want
always
you to come back.
their product anyway, so they know what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Zach's probably been in the local shop here more than I have because it's closer to him. But even
Mhm.
I could probably Penny that over at Badass Penny, who provides our cigars for the show. I've known her for 13 years, 15 years, something like that. Math is hard.
Oh wow.
And if I just text her and go, hey, send me something new, she knows what I like. She's going to send something that she knows I'll enjoy. She's really up on, outside of what's popular, the things that I like. Same thing with the guy that Buckhead Cigar up in North Atlanta in the Lenox area. Those guys, it's been a hot minute since I've been back in their shop, just mostly because I live 8.5 hours away. It's kind of a long drive, and Atlanta traffic sucks.
It does
So
suck.
Yes, it does.
but they know what I like, and they, the guys there are always, hey, this is new, or give this a try because I know you like this stuff, and
Yeah.
you're an asshole. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's how you know
Yeah.
you're in.
That's it. Matter of fact, if I ever go up there and I talk to Mike, he was like, how's that asshole Andy?
Yep.
That big asshole.
It's like a recurring theme that everybody calls it Andy an asshole. I'm starting to see. I've
You
had
know
her-
me long enough.
I mean, they're not wrong.
You gotta go to AA.
That's right.
Nice. This is it's still holding up well down to the nub, as it were.
That's
Nice.
not a nub.
Well, from its original configuration, it's now a
Keep
nub.
going, man. Keep going.
Yeah.
That piece of shit. I'm going, you piece of shit.
Oh,
Oh, asshole.
bag.
Is that better?
There you go.
There you go.
The correct nomenclature, as you will.
Yeah, exactly. You have to make sure that you get the proper Latin terminology for Andy.
That's proper Latin. Thank you.
Andicus s holishness.
It's hellish.
Yes. he's in all the books.
I'm gonna have to start using that in our podcast. You know, Andy.
There we go.
Andy is that's holish.
Andicus s holishness. Yes.
Hey, I've been called worse by you today.
You're like that's true. You're like one of those old Roman or Greek Stoics.
I don't know about stoic, but yeah, sure, we'll go with it.
Stoic-ish.
Ish.
We've lost Robert.
We did.
Wait, here he's coming back. Hang on.
His Wi-Fi went, nah, fuck you.
What the hell's going on over there in Indiana?
You moved, didn't you?
Hold the wiring like this.
Yeah.
Leg out in the other direction.
Lift up your right leg.
Jiggle your penis.
Yes.
What else is new?
Well, I just figured Vince was channeling his inner Andy and kicked me off the stream. So
I would never kick you off. I would
What
never.
an
I would kick
asshole.
these bastards off the stream, but not you.
Nice
Yes.
goals.
Exactly.
yeah,
Got to relight this a little bit. It's starting to go out.
Hell, Robert should have had another one.
Yeah,
just wish the
I am
cigarettes
savoring this. It's
Yeah.
I actually had that thought like 20 minutes ago. I was like, man, I should have another one.
I know, right?
I got one sitting here just in case.
Let me go check my box. Awesome.
My box.
I don't have
You always
time.
got to have a backup.
yeah.
Yeah, I should have brought down a backup. That would have been good.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should have bought another one, but I didn't figure our stream would be this quite this long, so this worked out pretty well.
I'm with Chris. Yeah, no, I don't have a problem.
Everyone stays at the first step. You get that one challenge coin, then you're done.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And the special T-shirt made.
Yeah, but you have to pay extra for the shirt. It's not worth it.
Well, it's $24.99. Fuck it.
You bought yours
Yeah,
in the
this is-
fitted size too, didn't you?
really need a medium. I'm like in between a small and a medium.
Medium.
It's medium.
Medium.
Yeah, but you buy the smalls. We know. It's okay.
Shh.
Gotta keep it tight.
Tight.
Gotta show that physique.
I'm just swole.
That's right. If you were a true asshole, you would steal the shirt. Steal it off the person or steal it off the shelf?
Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you try to steal it off of Andy, you'll get your ass beat. He'll beat your ass. Yeah, he will.
I stole mine fair and square. Back to hell.
That's right. Can't steal it from him. Your box.
Look, we do not box shame around here, okay, Miguel?
That's right.
We're gonna take it back.
Your
Invitation
Tupperware.
resent. Taking it back.
No. It's out there. It's too late now.
Yeah, it's out there now. I apologize, Miguel. You can come on anytime.
Jay said it earlier. Speaking of boxes,
Now I've got-
Tupperdoors are for those of you in the
Tupperdoor.
cheapskate seats. Tupperdoors are great, man.
That's
I've
even
got
good.
one.
Not for nothing. That's even good for wine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Gibbs suggested somewhere along the way. Somebody said, "Oh, hey, try infusing a cigar." So I grabbed one of my cheap
Yeah.
daily smokes, and it's currently in a Tupperware container with some coffee and a shot of whiskey. And I should probably check on it. I'll bet you the whiskey's gone.
Yeah, probably
might have
say you
been
need to
sucked
check it
all
out
up.
now.
That's a tomorrow thing.
Yeah.
That's cheap candy problems.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now,
Tasty.
something that was mentioned to me earlier when I was picking this up. I don't know if you guys have ever addressed it or ever heard this, but the gentleman at the cigar shop was talking about if you are not used to smoking cigars, that the process of doing so can have an effect on your blood sugar or lower your blood sugar, and it's good to have like a sugary drink or something like that above and beyond just bourbon, just to, in case your sugars drop low. Have you ever heard anything like that before?
Yep.
Or?
You sure have. Nicotine does funny things, right? If you're not used to smoking cigars, or you're halfway through a cigar and you're starting to feel that queasy, I don't feel so good, green kind of color. We've covered it on the podcast, but it's dark chocolate's great. Just kind of letting it melt in your mouth, and then and letting it die out. I've been known to just go grab a spoon and the sugar container, and taking a spoonful of sugar and just dropping it on my tongue and letting it
helps
sit.
the medicine go down.
Yep.
It does help the medicine go
And
down.
it is medicine.
And letting it, and just kind of trying to even that out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've heard of people taking like sugar packets and keeping them on hand for when they're out and about having a cigar.
Yep.
And it hits them a little harder than they're expecting.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's good to know.
I've found I think the last cigar that really hit me, it waited
Lunatic.
a good. It was no, actually, it wasn't the Lunatic, but it might be later. It was it was a Carita. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. Miguel, help me out. But it hit me about 45 minutes later. I was like, oh, ooh, ouch. Yeah, it required some doctoring. That's skedaddle.
Yeah, LFDs can be really strong. I love them, but they're like, I definitely want to have had some food and maybe have a sugary soda with me for a good LFD.
I'm like that with Maduros. I need those after dinner.
Yeah, definitely. A good dinner beforehand will help. A sugary drink, a fully leaded sugary drink, not the zero sugars that we've been sporting around this evening, but like a full-on Dr. Pepper. That'll help.
Yep.
A lot.
Okay. Good to
Yeah,
know.
I've got a Abita root beer with cane sugar, just in
I
case.
love a
but
bit of root beer.
it's also
that's-
delicious.
Yeah.
I'm about to say a cigar with a root beer is choice. It's actually really
It's
good.
nice.
How about not your father's root beer?
That'll work too.
I've never
but
had a
it's not
cigar
quite as
with
sweet.
one, but
They're very tasty.
they're pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoy one.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a long while, but I've had cigars with them, and they're good. It works well.
I don't think they distribute here in Louisiana, so I haven't seen one since I moved out of Tennessee.
Yeah. They've got. I've seen the other one. It's not your father's. What's the other one?
Not your the root beer?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them now. Something to do with
Yeah.
Carnival.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called though.
Not your mother's iced tea is good too.
Ooh.
I haven't had that.
That's dangerous because you don't taste the alcohol whatsoever. It's complete. It's like you're drinking sweet tea from down south.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, there's
Have to
something
find
other
that
than
one.
sweet tea.
Yeah, not your
Yeah,
mother's.
so, not your mother's.
Tea.
Not your mother's iced tea.
Duh.
Getting ash on my
Damn.
keyboard. God
Yeah,
damn
let's
it.
not talk about my
for-
work equipment. It's
I know, right?
helps
You,
the keys function better.
you take it out to your driveway and get the leaf blower.
Yep. They're getting it back with all the gunk. I'm just saying.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Pollen and ash. There you go. Have a good time.
Absolutely. Here you
Disclaimer:
go.
if the boss is paying attention, I don't actually mean fuck them.
I do want to keep my job.
Most everyone here is in IT, correct?
Yeah.
I am
Project
not.
manager. Yeah.
You are Robert. What are you in?
I am a pharmacy technician.
Oh,
Just
okay.
just call it what you
Drug
call
pusher.
it. Drug
For
pusher.
sure.
Pharmacy technician. Yeah, there you go. That's
Breaking Bad style.
right. Right out of the back of your van.
It's an ice
Nice,
cream
I
truck,
like it.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Has nice dreams plastered on the side.
Yeah, this is really good. I hate to see
Speaking
this
of
one
booze
end.
that sneaks up on you, there's a local brewery called Seventh Tap that has a dreamsicle. I don't know what all's in it, but you cannot taste any alcohol in it. And I have a friend who had he didn't know there's alcohol in it at all, and had like 7 or so. And
Oh
Oh,
my
shit.
god!
Damn.
you get somebody to like help him get home.
Breathe for 'em?
Jesus.
Delicious.
We got to pick some of that up.
I've not
That sounds.
I've not seen
sounds
it
really good.
any place other than the East Bank location. So it's the location near you, and they have it on tap.
Sounds like a Saturday thing.
Yep, Saturday thing.
I'm about to say, it sounds like a lunchtime thing for me.
Drug dealer.
Sure.
Yeah, great
Dale's
friends. I
jumping on
love it.
board.
You got my tramadol? I need my fix.
Right?
Hey, I've been needing some of that metformin. You got some of that?
Metformin. You gotta get your fiber.
Anybody over 40 probably knows what I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I'm down to the end of mine. Robert, where you at?
He's like, mine grew. It got longer.
It got an erection.
Added a third.
We are at the 2-hour mark. It went by pretty quickly.
Do you want to rate them?
Yeah, let's rate them.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this at least a 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like this a lot.
Damn novice. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh,
come on.
God damn, you asshole. You're living up to your assholishness.
He is.
You bearded fuck.
Oh, terms of endearment. I know. It's okay.
It is.
I really want to get him like one of those keychains that has like a license plate on it or whatever, but it just says asshole now.
You should.
We should make
With
that
dollar
happen.
signs for the S's.
Yep.
Right.
No, this was construction was great. Like Ben was saying, really no film whatsoever. Robert mentioned like a bit of an aftertaste, like a lingering, and I do get that as well. It's hard to I don't know what it's not cardamom, that's for sure. But, sorry, but it's close.
This rating.
It's maybe nutmeg. It's close, but it's a very easy draw. I'm not lightheaded from it. It's got really good smoke output, even down to the end. I'm enjoying it. I like it. 4.5.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Nice.
Who wants to go next?
Hell, I'll go.
Oh God.
It was. I give it a 3, maybe a 3.5.
Oh.
But that's just
Wait.
because for me, it's
You're a
well.
dork.
For me, it's more mild than medium or medium full, where I prefer my my palate to sit. So, other than that, yeah, great construction. I had no problems smoking it, and kind of like Robert said earlier, it's kind of like going back to an old friend. It's familiar, but it's not something I'd put in my daily rotation. But if I just need something simple and laid back, it's a good cigar to just kind of kick back with.
Like if you were sharing this with going to a friend's house, you'd bring a bunch of these, right?
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Then I guess
Some
I'll
giveaway
go
box.
next. Giveaway. Damn.
Box.
I'm giving it a solid 4 because I mean it's one of those cigars that again I can pick up anytime I want and I'll enjoy it. I would put it in my rotation just because it's just an enjoyable cigar. They're constructed well. The taste of them is good. Now, yes, it is on the lighter side compared to all of the other stuff that I do smoke, but it's not one of those that I would, you know, discourage anybody from smoking. So I would definitely keep it at a solid 4. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, look, you dirty bitch.
yeah, that's right.
Aw. Who's next?
I can go next. The construction's pretty on point on that cigar. It burned perfect the whole way. The ash was holding well. The draw was very open, which I tend to like. Smoke output was really good. Flavors were not too in your face. It's that still creamy the whole way through that we were talking about. And I probably I could see why this would be a favorite, but I tend to like medium to full cigars, and I would give it 3, a 3 out of 5, because I can't fault it for anything. It's just not my preference and profile. So it was a solid cigar. I would definitely not turn my nose up at getting another one. And probably like an early in the day cigar would be perfect, or a hot day, or end of the day cigar where you don't want something too in your face, and you maybe already had a cigar that's a little more bold, but it's good. Definitely like it. That's the first one of those I've had.
That's your first champagne?
Yeah, this is for champagne.
First
Right?
champagne.
Yeah.
I guess it's me. I'm gonna go with 3.5. I mean, it had all the good construction, and it burned well and all that, but it's just the flavor wise is very light for me. I'm used to heavier stuff now, and something that leaves me with a little more my head swimming. Like I don't really feel anything right now, so which may not be a bad thing, but
Yeah, I think that's a positive about it for sure.
Right.
But it is good enough that, like, if someone handed me one at a gathering or whatever, I would smoke it without hesitation. So I'm gonna go with 3.5.
Nice.
All right, and I'm gonna say 4.5. Like I said, it's like coming back to an old friend. Lit well, input was great, output was great. It stayed consistent throughout the whole cigar for me. No construction issues, and it was just a reminder of where I was when I started, that I still like this cigar.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So definitely 4 or 5.
Robert?
I'm going to give it a solid 4. The only reason I'm giving it a 4 is because there's nothing about it for which I can find fault, but because I consider myself to be very much still swimming in the shallow end of the pool as far as my experiences with cigars, I am not comfortable giving it a higher rating than that, because just from experience or lack thereof, I just to rate it any higher than that, I think would probably be slighting other cigars. But it burned really well. It burned very consistently. The burn line was good. It stayed intact even after it was burnt. The ash stayed intact, so it was packed and wrapped really, really well. The flavor was enjoyable. It did become a little bit more noticeable at about the halfway point and after, but it was still very, very pleasant, and the overall aroma of the cigar was just very, very pleasant. So, like I said, I can't find anything to fault it, but I can't comfortably rate it any higher than that based on my limited experience. So, a solid 4. I would say if anyone was asking me, hey, I've never smoked a cigar before, it's certainly something I would recommend as well. I tried this and it was a very nice, kind of first experience. So,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that can really
Yeah, I think
inform
that's
like your
what we're
next cigar
shooting for.
choice. You know, you can go for you go to your tobaccoist and you say, "Hey, I really like this cigar. Do you have something similar to that?" And they can kind of point you in the right direction, maybe towards a Connecticut or a shade grown or something that's a little lighter but still packs some good flavor in there.
okay.
And that middle part that you're talking about, Gibbs likes to call that the sweet spot. It's where kind of the cigar kind of comes together and is the right temperature and has concentrated a little bit but not too much. It's usually the best part of the cigar.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable all the way through. So I've really enjoyed it, and I obviously was definitely savoring it. I wasn't, trying to get it done in an hour, so I definitely took my time with it.
Yep. As you should. Like I said, we just do it because we're used to trying to get a cigar in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this cigar done in an hour. I don't.
I usually reserve that last star, the 4.5 to 5 for the cigars. That as soon as I start smoking it, I know it's just going to hit perfect for me. It's just going to be all the things I want out of the cigar. And that cigar, you may have another one, and it may be a 5 for you. It just usually things are pretty consistent in a brand, but sometimes you'll have that one that's just perfect.
Yeah.
And the reverse of that happens too. Like I split a box with a friend, and there's a box of 25. They're Undercrowns, Maduro Undercrowns, which is a cigar I love. And I think I had 12 or 13 of those out of the box, and one of them was bad. The rest were great, but one of them was just like 2 notches lower than the rest, and that can happen. Most of the time, you don't get that dramatic of a difference between a single batch of cigars, but it can happen. So I always try to give something another chance if I immediately didn't like it or thought that maybe something was off about it. Oh yeah, that's true. Smoking a cigar fast can make a good cigar bad, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, real quick.
The gal's got a point.
I also agree with Gail.
Yeah, the shows that we do, and I'm usually the last guy going because, still got the last third, maybe, dang it. I'm still enjoying this. Y'all get over it.
I mean, Andy does seem like he's having a stroke at the moment.
Yeah.
Are you okay, buddy?
I'm thinking back to Tommy Boy right now, where he's in with the band. I am your father.
Did I glitch? Yay.
Yep. I think his internet's just dying slowly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You sound very metallic.
Yes.
That's all right, though. It's good. It's a good way to segue into the end of this. So, all right, we are at 2 hours and 14 minutes. This is always pleasant talking to you guys. It's 11:17 on the East Coast, the best coast. Yeah, I thought it was the meds. Well, Robert would know about the meds. That's something Robert gave you.
It's that drink I mixed.
Exact. Shh. Quiet. Quiet. They're watching. All right, cool. This has been outstanding, as I figured it would be. Thanks for coming on again. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We'll have to make this a regular thing. A regular thing, I think. Oh, we lost Robert. That bastard.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So where can everyone find the Leaf Cutters?
We're pretty much on all the social platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. Unfortunately, we're on TikTok. And then we're on
Why?
YouTube. I mean, it's been kind of a fun thing, and believe it or not, we're getting more followers on TikTok than we've gotten on anything else. So it's kind of weird. And what really is weird about it is we're outpacing Instagram, which Instagram doesn't have as stringent policy on smoking cigars on screen as TikTok does.
Really?
TikTok, if you smoke on screen, they instantly filter your stuff. You can only be shown to 18 year older people, and in some cases they'll filter you even down to you can only be seen by people who subscribe to you. So it's really weird. But yeah, we got on TikTok just to see how it would do, and it's been outpacing everything else.
Okay.
But we are on pretty much all the social medias. If you want to reach out to us, we do talk to you. It's usually me or Andy that are responding to you. We do have a couple of the other guys that can get on there and do it, but they just don't.
They're lazy.
Just not social. Yeah.
All right, sure. There you go. Have that.
Yeah.
So if you do reach out to us, you're getting either usually me or Andy responding to you. So you can talk to us.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you guys are very approachable. So
We try to be, and it's of course at the Leaf Cutters.
at the Leaf Cutters. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
and-
basically across the board. It's all the Leaf Cutters.
Yeah, at the Leaf Cutters on all the socials except for YouTube. It's at the Leaf Cutter Reviews
Really?
on-
Okay.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get like weird insect stuff.
Yes, you get the ant.
You get like praying mantis and shit.
Yeah,
You learn something new, though.
you do.
That's
It's
true.
educational. So
That's true.
I mean,
might be.
leaf cutter ants are neat anyway. So if you want to check those out by accident, go for it.
Happy accident, really.
Nice.
You probably get better content out of them anyway.
Nice. All right, everyone who's watched thus far, thank you for joining us. Everyone in the chat, pleasure. Anyone who's listening and watching later, thank you for joining and listening. We appreciate that as well. Until next time, keep an eye out for the Leaf Cutters as regulars on the Masculine Geek Show. We'll keep you all posted. And until next time, enjoy your weekends, and we'll talk to you all later. Aaron Clary's gay.